Brian, midway through Expo 2022, the vibe on the floor is insane. It's such a positive upgrade from last year when you didn't have your international attendance and things of that nature, and people were struggling to figure out whether or not the company would let them go outside the door and everything else. But people are here doing business, they're here flying, they're here talking about all they're doing over the next year. This is really great stuff.
Well, in fairness, I remember when we talked in Atlanta, there was people were really grateful to be able to get back together. But you're right, the energy level this year is so much higher. I'm not surprised. What I am surprised by in some respects is we've got so many new companies in the industry across the domains, and we're really seeing the really large, I'm going to call them economic interests that pull this technology into the marketplace. They're starting to show up here in a really big way. You know, you're looking for that old pivot point when we start to hit to the mainstream. But I don't want to get too excited about that because, you know, we have some regulatory barriers that we still got to knock down and make sure the execution's all good.
Let's talk about trends in the industry. The push toward complete autonomy is huge. Talking about going from remotely piloted to fully autonomous use and things of that nature. What trends do you see beyond that?
You're right. Autonomy is no longer a dirty word. It was for a while, and I've been saying for some time now, we need to run toward this challenge of getting to a place where vehicles effectively order themselves. And that has as much to do with the platforms and the things that we know and love about this community as it does with the things that are behind the scenes that are advancing in many industries. The AI, for example, that's so important, you know, being able to operate in a GPS-denied environment. We're starting to see more and more of that now. Interestingly, at this event, I'm seeing we've got a lot more of our defense constituents coming back, and AI and autonomy is a really important factor for them. The defense assets are here really as much to see what's going on the commercial side of the house and figure out how to adapt that. And that to me is what AUVSI is all about. It's all platforms, defense, commercial, civil, in multiple domains.
One of the points that's been brought up by a number of people here is the fact that the regulatory environment is behind technological innovation, that we're out innovating the FAA and other government regulatory agencies at this point. What can AUVSI and the community do to educate them and kind of nudge them along?
Well, no one should be surprised by that, for starters. You know, the FAA's role is not necessarily to innovate. That's really industry's role. That's the role of technologists, et cetera. Not to say that we don't have people inside in the tech center and so forth that aren't constantly trying to figure out what's coming next and how to embrace it and how to integrate it. But the answer to your question is it's largely about maintaining a constructive and robust dialogue. One that's going beyond the surfaces of, hey, you got to give us the ability to fly beyond visual line of sight, you know, and all of the mechanisms that go into doing that. We're certainly in those conversations all the time. But I think we got to sort of both get on the same side and look at the problem and figure out what we're solving for and then try and solve it together.
Internationally, drones have been in the news quite a bit. We are seeing a number of ways in which drones are peacekeepers and in which they are being used offensively. What do you think will come of what we're learning now and how we're using drones in a military environment when we've got such careful issues to deal with?
Well, first and foremost, what I think of is the fantastic humanitarian uses that applied the technology to. And I'm going to give a shout out here and a plug. AUVSI has entered into a partnership with Project Hope to provide additional aid to refugees. I know people have a lot of different options to do that. We're very proud of the fact that we had the opportunity to do that, and a lot of people have stepped up to help in that way and in others, of course. But yes, you're right. There's no question in my mind that this technology is being used to fight a good fight, and I'm very proud to be associated with that. At the end of the day, you know, I think we're all striving to get to a more peaceful place and a place where we're serving one another toward good ends. And I think the technology is very well positioned to do that as well.
It's certainly been interesting to watch over the last few weeks how it's been covered. how it's been utilized, and more important now, where we expect future utilizations to take place, hopefully with a peaceful result.
Amen.
Final question, what can we expect for Expo 23?
Well, you probably read that we just entered into a new partnership. Very excited by this. I've been working on this with the board of directors for 2 years. We found a great partner in Messe Düsseldorf, North America. They're going to let us play from strength in the partnership. We'll continue to marshal all the wonderful quality thinking, subject matter expertise, thought leadership that exists in our community at the conference as usual. They'll be helping more with the actual trade show. Denver is going to be a great show. It's a great venue for us. We had, I think, the largest number of people that we've ever had in Denver, and then apply our new partnership to that. It's just going to be even more energetic than this one.
Are you ready to ace your FAA drone pilot knowledge test, get your remote pilot certificate, and start earning money? Well, flying a drone is a great tool that can open up new business opportunities for anyone. Realtor, insurance adjuster, videographer, or commercial weekend drone warrior, you need to fly legally. Whether you're pursuing your initial Part 107 remote pilot certificate or you need a renewal, King Schools has a course just for you. So start learning today at kingschools.com.